Yes, people, welcome to Footy Fans TV. I hope you're all having an amazing Saturday. This one's a monster, so let's go. As normal, a quick roundup of all the top transfers and news in the last 24 hours. All right, let's start with a very simple one. Ben Godfrey from Norwich has signed to Everton on a permanent deal. Start off nice and easy, and then we'll get into the juicy stuff. First off, Manchester United are going to make a bid for Edinson Cavani. That's what we understand. He's a free agent, so all they would have to pay is his salary and then any associated fees that come along with the deal. Next, an Usmana Dembele of Barcelona. So there's been a lot of back and forth on this one, but what we understand is that the player is keen to move to Manchester United. The talks are ongoing between him and his agent. The crux here is that he doesn't want to permanently move away from Barcelona, but if he's not going to get game time at Barcelona and Manchester United can offer him that, then he'll probably take that up. So it looks like a loan deal is what they're going to try and do with Dembele. Then we have Dallow, who hasn't really been in the team, a fringe player at this point. He's landed in Milan. He's going to sign for AC Milan. It's going to be a simple loan deal for 1 year, no option to buy. Then we get on to Alex Telles of Porto. So the left back is valued at 40 million euros. It's understood that Porto dropped the valuation to 20 million euros. Manchester United was still not willing to pay that. They've even come as low as 15 million euros, but Manchester United's bid was less than 10 million euros. So at this point, Telles is basically their star player or one of their star players. They're not going to let him go for that cheap. So it doesn't look like that deal is going to materialise at all unless Manchester United can come way up in their valuation of the player. Then you have Chris Smalling, who clearly isn't in the plans for Manchester United, but they also don't want to sell him to Roma for a cheap fee. So there's been a lot of back and forth on this one. Roma came in with a bid. They went in with an improved bid. Manchester United want 20 million euros or more for the player. It seems like Roma are sticking somewhere around 15 million euros. They can't come to an agreement. Roma have come out and said this whole situation is just embarrassing. They're not happy with the way Manchester United have handled it. So unless something materially changes, it looks like Chris Smalling is still going to be a Manchester United player come the close of the window. And then we get on to Sancho. I can't even tell you how many times I've read a story, heard a story, or spoken about it. I talk about him in my house more than anything else. So Jaden Sancho, he's been left out of the Dortmund squad for the last couple of games. There's been some speculation that it's because he's moving to Manchester United. Guys, let me repeat this one more time. The problem has always been the player's fee. It's 120 million euros or nothing. Dortmund are not desperate to sell. If Manchester United cannot meet the valuation, the player is going nowhere. It's not his salary. It's not his agent's fees. This stuff was sorted out months ago. So unless United and Ed Woodward can stump up 120 million euros, Jaden Sancho is not going anywhere. He's being respectful of Dortmund's wishes. He's not forcing a move. He himself would love to join Manchester United, but he's not going to put pressure on the club to make it happen. Simple as that. Sticking in the Premier League and with Chelsea, so Temui Bakayoko, he's wanted by a couple of Serie A clubs, so AC Milan and Napoli are both in for him on a loan move. Let's see what happens with that one. He is a fringe player at Chelsea. I'm sure they would prefer to move him on a permanent, but if they could get somebody else to cover his salary, then I'm sure they'd be happy with that as well. Then we go over to Manchester City. Eric Garcia, who I've spoken about before, he's in the last year of his contract. He's not going to sign a new contract with Manchester City. He wants to join Barcelona, so whether he goes this transfer window for a sum of money or next transfer window for free, he's going to Barcelona. Ronald Koeman said that he's going to go back in for him one more time. They're going to try one more time with a final bid. Pep's being a little bit coy about whether he stays, whether he goes. Let's see what happens with Eric Garcia. I think from Manchester City's perspective, they've got problems in that centre-back position. They're going to lose him for free next summer anyway, so they might as well just keep on to the guy, try and get something out of him for the next season, and then see where they land next summer. So then we move on to Arsenal. They have agreed a deal with Atletico Madrid to take Lucas Torreira. Torreira deal depends on Atletico getting rid of players, so they need to sell Herrera or Lamar to make it happen. They don't have the cash to buy the player on a permanent, so this would be a loan deal for Torreira. So we keep our eyes on that one as well, but he's passed his medical, everything's agreed, all the terms. Atleti just need to get rid of players before they can bring him in. And then we'll go to Aouar and Depay. So two Lyon players. One of them's obviously been linked with Arsenal, the other one with a move to Barcelona. What we've been told by President Olas is that today was the deadline for either club to make an approach for the players that they deemed reasonable. They have not received that. So he's come out and said they are Lyon players for at least one more season. Neither of them will be leaving. Now, that could just be brinksmanship, seeing who crumbles first, a way of him negotiating, trying to get the money. I'm sure that if Arsenal or Barcelona came in with a bid that they thought was reasonable, they're not going to keep on to the players unnecessarily. I know specifically with Aouar, it's always been around his valuation, and that Arsenal and Lyon are just too far apart on what they both believe the player is worth and what one is willing to pay and the other is willing to accept. In Depay's case, Koeman wants him at Barcelona. Does he need him? Probably not. And it's Barcelona. They're probably trying to play their luck a little bit, understanding that Depay would want to play for Barca. But again, it doesn't really sound like Depay's trying to force that move on Lyon. Then we get on to Spurs. So we understand that they've rejected a €4 million loan offer from PSG for Dele Alli. So Levy wants Ali to stay and fight for his place, whereas Jose Mourinho would be happy if the player leaves. And then two other players, so you've got Foyth and Sessegnon, who we spoke about in our previous video, but both are going to exit the club. So Foyth is going to go to Villarreal. They have an option to buy the player as well for €15 million. Sessegnon is going to Hoffenheim. There's no option to buy there, but both of those players will be leaving the club this transfer window. Then we go to the Bundesliga. So Bayern Munich, we understand, are trying to get Callum Hudson-Odoi from Chelsea. Now, he did play in the game today. He's not trying to force a move away from Chelsea. He wants to be at the club. Obviously, he's picking up six-figure salary every week. I think it's £110,000 a week. I'm sure he's not in a rush to go anywhere. He's locked into a long-term contract, but he probably also wants to play football. So Bayern Munich are trying to get something together to make an approach for the player, to bring him to the Bundesliga, give him some game time, give them another option up top in that position. Chelsea aren't really trying to sell him, so that one could take a lot of time to materialize, and in the end nothing may end up happening with Callum Hudson-Odoi, but that one's out there as well. And then sticking with Bayern Munich, they've signed Marc Roca from Espanyol on a 4-year deal for €15 million. Highly rated young player. Let's see what they can get out of him. And then we finish up in Serie A with Juventus. So they're turning all of their attention to Federico Chiesa, the son of Enrico Chiesa, who currently plays for Fiorentina. They're doing everything they can to get that transfer across the line. So that is their only priority for this transfer window, is to get Federico Chiesa across the line. So that wraps it up. I know that was a lot of information that I've thrown at you guys, but expect that over the next couple of days as the window comes to a close. I'm going to be firing loads of information at you in these videos. I hope you enjoy them. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share, and we catch you guys on the next one. Peace.